Asking to split the bill on the first date.
Negative.
Definitely not.
That's green.
Your future husband wants to merge bank accounts.
No, I think that's fine.
Yeah, that's probably a red.
That's the biggest red flag I've ever seen in my entire life.
How old are you?
17.
Buying a cheap engagement ring.
If you got no money, don't buy a ring.
How much was the wedding?
I could have bought a house for it.
It's your money.
Yes, your money is your money.
All right, it's cuffing season, so we're taking to the streets to find out what people consider a red or a green flag within a relationship. We'll ask them about splitting the bill on the first date, merging bank accounts in marriage, and spending money without the spouse knowing.
I'm his spouse and he spends all the time without telling me.
The person you're dating wants to split the bill on the first date.
The first one?
That's a red for you. Nice. Why would you say it's a red?
It's the first one, you know, made me feel like I'm cared, I'm important you and everything. So it's a red one. For the first one. Then in the relationship, we split everything, that's fine.
Yeah. Especially when you're trying to make a first impression.
That's a green flag.
I think that's a red.
I think that's a green flag because, like, especially if you don't know the guy, like, the first date, it's equal to split. I feel like it's right to split.
I just feel like you should just pay up for yourself. If not, like, I feel like it's awkward if they're like, oh, you want to split? Like, just like each person pay for themselves.
What if you don't like the food?
Don't
Green flag, green flag,
Red.
green flag, green flag.
I think that's awkward.
I mean, I understand what you're saying,
I
but
see
like,
your
if
point.
I'm in the
No,
moments,
don't be like-
I can't see myself actually doing it. You know what I mean?
Negative.
It's a negative for you.
It's a negative for me.
Why is that a red for you?
The first date, I think I'll definitely have to test the person out. So I'm thinking you're asking me out, you're gonna pay for me. So right, negative, red flag.
Yeah, you're trying to see if they're like willing to put themselves out there for you to go out of the way a little bit.
For sure.
Asking to split the bill on the first date.
Definitely not.
That's a red for you?
It's a red flag, that. You've got to make sure that you've got the money yourself. Yeah, if you want to be a man, man up.
I like it.
Red flag.
Red flag for you?
I'm a gentleman. Kind of old soul. I believe in paying for the girl or whoever your partner is.
That's green, but I think it depends on who's asking who out for the date.
So if you're the one asking,
Offer to pay, but I usually for like dates after that we'll probably go like 50.
might go halvesies.
Yeah.
Asking how much someone makes on the first date. Why do you think it's a red?
That is like a red flag for sure because you only matter about that. We can make money together.
When do you think it's time to bring that up?
Maybe when you start living together, I think it's better, yeah.
Green flag.
Yeah, like,
Let me tell you.
Let's let her explain. Let her explain.
Let me tell you why. Because if you're doing well for yourself, you don't want to date someone that has like 10
Like
times
goals.
a lower income than you do and zero goals. Like, I think if you guys are on the same equilibrium with dating and money, then that's your future husband.
I agree.
So you're from the perspective of like
Green.
finding a future husband,
Yeah.
not just dating
Date
for
to
funsies.
marry, date to marry, date to marry.
That.
Green flag.
How old are you?
17.
Why? Old soul. Asking how much someone makes on the first date.
Negative. That's negative for me, for sure.
What do you think you should talk about on the first date?
Your job, goals, family. I like to lay it all out, see what's going on.
Gotcha. But we don't need to get into the weeds just
not
yet.
into that. Nope, not into that yet. Not into the nitty gritty yet.
Definitely not. A red flag, sorry. You should find out through asking, but not directly. And find out whether they're wealthy or not and how rich their parents are. That's a very good start.
Gives you some context on that person and where they come
Yes.
from.
Yeah, without doubt. See how they've been brought up and everything in that sense, yeah.
How do you ask someone without asking directly?
What do your parents do? You know, are they business people, all that?
Red flag.
That's a red flag.
Yeah, without a doubt. Get to know the person. Doesn't really matter. I mean, you gotta like them first and like who they are as a being. Forget about what they have right now because that can change tomorrow. And you can also build wealth together.
Asking how much someone makes on the first date.
That's probably a red. I mean, because like you don't want to seem like you're only interested in money. I mean, obviously it matters, you know, because I think most people are usually going with like the same kind of financial bracket, right?
Okay, let's level up to money choices when you're getting engaged and becoming a fiance. And if you haven't already, like the video and comment below if you agree or disagree with the answers so far. Buying a cheap engagement ring from Etsy.
Green one.
Nice. Why is that okay for you?
It's about love, not about the money or the material stuff. So maybe in the future when we got money, he need buy me a better one for sure.
Red flag. Red flag. Guys, if you don't love me enough to get me a real ring, we're not. But okay, wait. It depends on the
depends on the
circumstance.
financial
But if you
situation,
give me a
too.
ring off Etsy, bro.
Like, just be up in front, honest at that point. Like, don't, like, I don't know.
That's from Etsy. I don't want it.
I don't want it either. Like,
How would you see your financial status when you're getting married?
I mean, me personally, I don't want to get in anything with anyone else until I'm good within myself.
I agree.
So, like, if you can't afford to get me a ring, you're not putting it on my finger. Like,
So you want to be like graduated from college, in your career, financially secure.
Yes, exactly.
100%.
We'll see if that happens.
Negative.
No.
Negative. No.
What would be your preference?
I don't know. Definitely not Etsy for a ring, an engagement ring. I'm not all about, spending thousands either, but I need a little more guarantee on that. So I'm not too sure about Etsy.
Like you're just kind of sketched out that it might turn your finger green, something like that.
No, I don't need a green finger or gray finger or anything. So yeah.
Definitely not. That's a red flag.
Okay.
You've got to take them and find out what they want. It's most important. The best ring you can buy is the one that they want, without doubt.
Should the cost be something that they think about?
Not at all. If you've got the money, buy it. Flaunt it. If you've got no money, don't buy a ring.
Buying a cheap engagement ring from Etsy.
Green flag. Yeah, smart financial move. Also, small wedding.
Honestly, I don't know enough about Etsy's prices. I mean, if they're affordable, I would say green. But if they're like insane, red, are they like insanely priced?
No, they're actually pretty cheap
Okay.
on Etsy.
I think that's why you're asking.
She's saying
Yeah. Because it's like on the cheaper end.
like handmade stuff on there.
she's saying no.
She's researched. Using a credit card to pay for your wedding.
Oh, I don't know. Because, okay, if you got the plan for you in the future, okay, you got money, but not all, use your credit. Because you got a little bit and plus credit, I think is cool.
Gotcha.
And then you work together for pay everything. But if you don't got anything and it's just credit, so
If it's only the credit card, that's a red for you.
Sí,
But if it's
cool.
half of it in cash, half with the credit card, then that'd be okay.
exacto, sí.
I feel like that's like a green, like, I don't know. It depends on like the financial situation, how much money's already on the credit card, all that stuff.
Me personally, I would say a red flag, but only because, like, I know we love each other, but if we can't really afford that yet, then we shouldn't be getting married yet.
Using a credit card to pay for a wedding.
Depends. Now, I could say green to that because, so you have to look at the upside. Points, bonuses could be a good thing, and then pay it off.
Both my children have been married, and I had to use a credit card for that, yes. Weddings are the most expensive thing I bought other than a house.
How much was the wedding?
I could have bought a house for it, put it that way.
That's a red flag. I would tell you, invest in something you can always borrow from. For instance, if your family gives you $30,000 to have a wedding, right? Are you going to do that to have a wedding that's only, all you got is 30 grand, right?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you invest that into a property? And then delay the wedding, maybe a couple years. Wait for some equity to build up, and you can borrow that money, and that investment can pay for your wedding later. Just be patient.
Whether it was given to you or you saved it up yourself, like, you don't have to put all that into that one day.
That 30,000 will turn into 60 or 90 or 100,000 in a real estate investment. I would encourage you to get married, move in together, buy a piece of property, and then,
I would probably say red, only because that's like a lot of debt to have to, pay by the, end of the month or whatever the case is for your card. So I would say, yeah, that's probably a red.
All right, final boss. Let's ask people about money in a marriage. Spending money without telling your spouse.
Oh, that's a red flag, but probably I did that many times. It depends, It's like if you buy a clothes, something like cheap, I think it's just part of the life. But it's like something expensive and that made a big hole in your finances. I think it's a big red flag.
The regular expenses, like your clothing, groceries, don't have to talk to them about it. But if it's like a boat, probably talk about it.
Red flag.
Spending money without telling your spouse.
Red flag, red.
Oh, that's a red flag because, like, yes, your money is your money unless it's like a surprise gift. But like, if we're married, I just feel like that's sketchy. Like, that's too weird.
Is there any way that it'd be okay to do that?
If it was for something for like me, like, and there's money, but also like the thing is like, I don't want you spending a lot of money. Like, I'm easy. Like, you don't need to spend a lot of money for like things to work out. So like, don't go behind the back.
A red flag for me, that is open communication is the key to any relationship. So there should be no negativities or reds on that.
They call it financial infidelity.
Yes. Amen to that. Married 12 years. Definitely that's a big no.
Do it all the time. It's my number one hobby.
Is that true?
He certainly does. I'm his spouse and he spends all the time without telling me.
Oh. What's been the biggest purchase that he didn't mention?
He's addicted to buying CDs.
CDs as in
Compact discs, music compact discs.
not certificates of deposits.
No. I wouldn't know what one of those was. I've never deposited any money in a bank ever.
So we just talked to that man's son-in-law, and turns out everything he said was true. And he also owns like 10 McDonald's franchises in the UK, so man's doing pretty well for himself, but he's also very direct. Right, Ian?
Facts.
Spending money without telling your spouse.
I believe that each individual should have a spending account that is not shared with their spouse. Okay. And in this day and age, it is popular actually for people to have split accounts altogether. So if you do share, I think you should have a fun account for you to do whatever you want and be an individual.
So leave a little margin for yourself.
Correct. Something that you don't have to ask for permission for, or, it's your money.
I think the most important part is that you guys planned on it, that you both have these like separate spending accounts. You have that understanding that, whatever's here is like for whatever our personal enjoyments are,
Correct. Exactly.
That's tough. I would say probably red. If it's like something minor, like maybe coffee, that's probably fine. But if you're buying like a new car or like something crazy, that's red for sure.
There's like a certain dollar amount where, all right, if you go over like $500, you should probably talk to them about it.
Okay.
Your future husband wants to merge bank accounts.
What you mean, like combine?
Combine,
or...
yeah.
No, I think that's fine. Yeah, it's our money, so that's fine.
I think that's a green flag. Like I don't think I'd marry someone unless they're like, I'm gonna like see a future and like not doing like ending things, and like obviously I'm gonna share everything with them and they're gonna share everything with me. Kayla's gonna
That's the
disagree.
biggest red flag I've ever seen in my entire life.
You're so dramatic.
No, I'm telling you guys. Okay, I have an account, you have an account, and then we have one together. But
yeah,
but merging
that's what I
your
meant.
bank account, like that, just so, because I just think prioritizing what you want, and it's like if it's my money and then you're spending majority of my money, that's just not gonna work. So like, because it's my money. If I'm making my own money, why would I let somebody else use my money?
She said my money. Your spouse wants to merge bank accounts.
That's a no for me.
What's your situation? What's worked for you?
What's yours is yours, what's mine is mine, and we have a household and everything else, so get a third bank account. Let's do 50-50 that way, but I all for you have yours, I have mine.
So you have a third bank account that's joint.
Exactly.
How do you know how much is going into that one?
If it's equal partners, then it's obviously, hypothetical, it's $5,000 down the middle, then everybody $2,500 in that same bank account. Everything gets paid out of it, right?
I'd definitely not look after your own money, tell her to look after her own. That way there's no arguments. But as a breadwinner, you buy everything and pay for everything. So then they can have their spending money, you have your own, but you've paid all the bills.
Merging bank accounts as a married couple.
So I'm old fashioned and I think it's a green light. I do believe in sharing, but again, I still think you should have separate bank accounts, fun accounts.
I think it's healthy to have separate accounts, but I think having a joint account for like bills, I think that's green. But I think only having like one shared bank account, that's probably red. You need to have like a certain amount of independence with like your finances, even when you're still together. Like, kind of like a bill bank versus like a fun bank, For sure. So is how
like the fun money accounts, which are like your own spending, and then like one joint together. Gotcha. All right, there we go, man. Cool. Did he do good?
JC,
Hey.
you're off a good one.
Thank
right?
you.
Best of luck with your channel.
Would you like to look at my engagement ring and my wedding ring?
Yes, let's see the. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
So that one wasn't from Ed's. Again, comment down below if you agree or disagree with these answers, and make sure to subscribe.